Good evening, and welcome to another World of Warships video with your host, Darkwing Glacier. In this battle, I take out my USS Missouri, and this is going to be a rather short one. I'm kind of speeding it up to twice the normal speed so we can get past some of the boring parts. So we're on the Sleeping Giant map, which is one of the newer maps in World of Warships, and one thing I've learned from this map is that whoever controls the sea cap tends to have the advantage. Unfortunately, I'm placed kind of far away from that, so I get past this island to try to get into a position to support my teammates, and I spot a New Orleans over there who runs into an island and therefore evades my shots. But my second barrage is a complete miss. And I quickly find myself we have a Yugumo on our team in A, but unfortunately he looks like he's about to get overwhelmed, and there he goes, he dies. So we are completely friendless over in A. At C, none of our destroyers converge on the cap, so they end up just surrendering A. And all the battleships are piling up behind the islands, and they're not advancing at all. And I find myself very quickly way too far forward. And I have a Yamato, there's a Conqueror out there, there's also a Bismarck, and I'm in deep trouble. So I go full reverse and try to get out of there. I do spot that New Orleans, and I catch him out in the open, and I get a kill. But I'm still in deep trouble. I've been taking a lot of hits, and so I'm in full reverse. I'm trying to get my repair ready, I'm trying to get undetected, and I'm backing up. But it already looks like this game is lost because most of our ships just aren't being as aggressive as they need to be. We've already lost 2 destroyers, and the enemy team is just, all they have to do is hold on to the caps and they win. So our Tashkent goes into that cap, but which is kind of foolish really because there are 2 enemy ships in there, and he gets killed very quickly. So I find myself all the way back here at this island. I'm screened more or less from the Yamato. I'm kind of far away from the Conqueror, but there's not much I can do at this point. So I decide that I just have to kind of push in and see if I can make something happen. So I spot the Conqueror broadside, but unfortunately, every time he fires at me, he sets me on fire. Every time I fire at him, most of my shots miss, which is kind of a depressing thing that seems to be common in this. At least that happens to me anyway. So now I'm going forward again. I see this Bismarck is advancing. There's nothing really stopping him from doing so. And I start advancing in the hopes that maybe I can do some damage to him. Of course, he's practically full health. I'm about 1/3 health once my repair party completes. So I take some shots at the Bismarck, and then I start turning to starboard. I take a ridiculous amount of fire from the Fletcher, the Conqueror, the Bismarck. All sorts of ships are shooting at me. I try to take a shot at this Fletcher over here, and at this point I decide maybe I can just go around and come at A from the west, and maybe I can do some kind of contribution there. It's at this point I finally look at the score and realize we're going to lose in seconds anyway, so it's almost kind of moot, and this is kind of a not going to be very successful. But then I see the Yamato. I'm thinking, wait a minute, maybe I can get a good shot off on him. I mean, he's just taken some damage after fighting the Republic. So I line up my shots, and he's perfectly broadside, which is really good. Maybe I can do a sit or two. And then I notice someone mocking me in chat, telling me I'm running away. But here come my shots, and look at that. 5 citadels, and I get the kill. 66,000 damage in 1 broadside. So right about this point is when I notice the chat, and I start laughing back. The score, we were actually just about to lose. They had 979 points, but I dropped back down, just preventing the inevitable to happen. And now the guy continues in chat making fun of me, saying that I didn't even do anything in this match. Well, I've gotten 2 kills, which is the most on my team. But that said, that's not nearly enough to actually get a win. Of course, I mentioned that I did get 5 citadels and I vaporized the Yamato. And just as I say that, my own teammate in the Republic gets apparently a little insulted with that. And at this point I realized, the game's almost over, so I was going to go into A and see what I could do in there, but I realized it's not even going to matter, so I cut my engine. And now this guy's mocking me again, saying he's asking me if I'm going to hide. I'm like, nope, I'm going to survive. My teammate says he actually did the most damage to the Yamato. Well, maybe we did about half and half. In any event, I thought that exchange was pretty amusing. I get mocked and then am able to take out the Yamato. So thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.